prescription at all. If your eyeglasses are not custom fit and properly adjusted to you, that could be the source of your headaches. At Eye Gear Optical, we verify the prescription in your lenses and the custom fitting of your frames to ensure you have the most comfortable and visually accurate eyeglasses every time. We fit eyeglasses to you, your lifestyle, and your budget. Eye Gear Optical, 2630 Highway 80 East in Pearl, and eyegearoptical.com.
At Sandifer Orthodontics, we believe in family, tradition, and community. From kids to adults, Sandifer offers state-of-the-art orthodontic care with complimentary consultations, so everyone in the family can smile with confidence. Sandifer Orthodontics proudly supports Tri-County Academy and the Building on Tradition campaign, so a short drive to local businesses like Sandifer helps TCA thrive. Begin the journey to a beautiful smile at SandiferOrtho.com. Sandifer Orthodontics, Highland Village, Jackson, and Gateway Drive in Brandon.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studio. This is the Clay Edwards Show.
It is the Clay Edwards Show. I am Chip Matthews, filling in along with Don McKenzie here on a Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
5 minutes till 8 o'clock, y'all. Remember, at 8 o'clock, the Conviction of States is meeting up there to talk to legislators. And look, while they're in session, y'all, you need to find time, if you do nothing all day, or even if you could take a day and go off of work, you need to be able to take a day off and go down there and watch how they make the sausage. And go down there and watch the lobbyists running around with their money and spending. And one of the best places to do is watch where they go to eat lunch and see who's paying for lunch.
Right.
I mean, that's one thing. I mean, it isn't all happening inside that dome. It's happening all over the place. And then one of the places it happens is when they're sitting down to eat lunch. And, it's just like the supervisors in Madison County, the three that meet illegally and sit down and talk. 3 of them are not allowed to be in the same room without somebody taking notes. And a lot of people don't realize that. When they have a quorum, somebody has to be, it is then a public meeting. And then it has to be notes taken when they speak.
But what happens if they're on the telephone?
If they're on the telephone.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to do that either.
I know.
Because they use the telephone in their meeting. I mean, like if you're watching a board of supervisor, a city council meeting in Canton, there'll be 3 in there and the other 4 on the phone. They're going, hey, yeah, blah, 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 yeah. You quit doing that, baby.
That is such an inconsiderate way to do business for your constituents.
It should be illegal.
Should be illegal.
I mean, it's something they started during COVID that I don't think should continue.
That's correct.
And it probably isn't allowed to continue. It's just nobody enforces it. Nobody talks about it. Nobody tells on them for doing it. Yeah, you're a tattletale, Chip. You're a tattletale. Well, anyway. Y'all, the subject is the Senate and the House.
Yep.
They're over there making laws today, tomorrow.
Is this just a week-long event?
No, they do that they do it. Well, it can be. I mean, they're doing it for a few days there. Now, of course, none of them will be leaving town for the championship football game. So,
might get some work finished.
They messed that up. They're going to hold it over their head and they say, okay, y'all didn't act like you were going to vote for that mobile sports betting. So, we're going to make sure Ole Miss loses. And then, boop, we have a game, a situation.
Yeah,
at the end of the game. Situation at the end of the game that all they had to do is buzz down and tell that referee, throw that flag.
Yeah.
But the mob didn't because it didn't have the votes.
Yeah.
So.
I woke up just in time to watch the last minute and a half of that ball game.
Well, I mean, that's where all the action was. That's it.
Yep.
That was it. Minute and a half. In the last 3 minutes of that game, 4 minutes, I'd say, it went back and forth real quick. And you were going, oh, okay. Officiating, taking over the game, blah, 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 blah. And then that play.
Yeah.
That you're going, oh, that's going to be it.
Uh-huh.
And they don't call the penalty. And you're going,
I know wrestling is wrestling, but a lot of it is show.
Yes.
Don't
tell Clay that.
Okay. Shh, close your ears, Clay. But anyway, it's like, it's like a movie, a script. they know what they're going to do, what they're going to say all the way through it. And it's kind of like football games have become that.
Yes, it has. I know pro football feels that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you could say college football is getting very much like pro football.
And then it's going to trickle on down to high school
It's all about the money.
when they put this school choice in.
Yeah. I mean, with school choice and NIL money, let's say, for instance, Callaway wants to get a good team. All they got to do is buy some players from the other side of town and move them across.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll say, well, it's their choice to come here. Well, not really.
Yeah.
It's money. And the parents control the money.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got to get them to school and everything like that.
accomplish that. And more testosterone for your morning drive.
When you know you've got a problem, how about tell people and be honest? What's going on?
Going to war on cancel culture and bringing the spotlight on issues and topics from around the city of Jackson.
I feel like Jackson, Mississippi.
No one else wants to talk about.
The whole system is corrupt and evil. It's unreal. And they don't care. And everybody knows that. It's just sad.
And fights for the soul of America.
I'm going to need y'all to explain to me what a positive solution is, because you positive solutions only people have been in charge for a while now. And I'm not seeing too many positive solutions.
You never met a motherfucker like me.
Strap in, turn up the volume, and get ready, Jackson, for unfiltered, no sugar added talk radio. It's award-winning podcaster Clay Edwards.
It is Chip Matthews filling in for Clay Edwards on the Clay Edwards Show. Yes, there is sugar added this morning because I have to have it in my coffee.
No, you put coffee in your sugar.
Right.
Yes.
Right. I am Chip Matthews. She, of course, is my host, co-host, Dawn McKenzie. We do the Chip Matthews Show each and every morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. And Clay's feeling a little bit under the weather, so we're still here.
For just a little bit.
That's why, and the funny thing about that is, people say, Chip, you'll never shut up. Well,
That's a
give
good
me the
thing.
opportunity to never shut up and I won't.
Mhm.
If I weren't here, you'd be listening to this. Okay, there you go. Good morning, Bonnie Pimento checking in now.
Hmm.
And of course, the legislators are getting there. There are a few of them are probably arriving late after dealing with the massive traffic of Jackson.
Yeah.
Going,
So I wonder what all will be on their agenda outside of school choice. What else is?
well,
is the
they
big
have
thing?
the things that they don't talk about,
Mhm.
that they don't bring up in the first few days is usually this is the smoke and mirror. The education thing is the smoke and mirror. I think the only thing they're going to do on education, y'all, really is the public to public.
Mhm.
Because too many of the local communities and school districts wanted to do that. Good morning, Micah Goba. How'd y'all meeting last night with the executive committee? That ought to be interesting.
You didn't go?
I'm not on the executive committee anymore.
Oh,
Remember, they had a secret
yeah.
ballot to get rid of me
They got
because
rid of
I
you
spoke too
because
much.
you talked too. You
I
told
talk too much.
you told too much of the truth.
I talk too much.
Yeah, I got you.
That's
Okay.
why I have a radio show where I can talk all I want. And then, of course, Clay really isn't under the weather. We have tied up in the back
Yeah, because we just didn't want to stop.
because he goes through that testosterone treatment just to keep up with me.
Yeah.
That's right.
Uh,
I go through it too. I just bulk up on him. See the gun show. See the gun show. It was one time Clay and I have been friends for a long time, and we've also been a competition against each other. And everybody used to always say, what would be the greatest fight is to have a ring set up and let y'all go at it in the ring. The funny thing about it is nobody would hit each other. It would just be us yelling at each other. It'd
Yeah.
just be talk.
and circling the corners of the ring.
So you know what I'll do to you? I'll rip your head off. No, you won't. It'd be funny.
Yeah.
We probably still need to make that happen.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a good
and
attraction.
we could do it for charity.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, y'all, we're talking about the things that the government should be talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
Meeting was canceled because building was locked. Mr. Duncan.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah.
The building was locked. That'll keep the Republican Party out. Just lock the building.
Where do they meet?
They meet in Madison County in the city of Madison at their offices there.
Okay.
Interesting. That's going to be a wonderful story later today when somebody calls me and says, But anyway, the things that the government should be talking about that for years they talked about growing up in the 70s and 80s, that the price of car tags were too high in Mississippi. Well, they must be because too many people drive without them.
Mm-hmm.
And they drive without insurance because that's too high too.
Yeah.
And what that does is make the car tags higher for everybody else. It does pay.
Mm-hmm.
And it also makes your insurance higher.
Yeah.
So what do we do to fix the problem? They said, well, if we lower it, then we won't have as much money because the people that aren't buying car tags still won't buy car tags. That's when you pull them over and put them in jail.
Mm-hmm.
No car tag. No, you don't go to jail for no car tag. But you know,
And it's like it's a law. It's a state law that you must have auto insurance.
well, it's like, for instance, in Pearl. In Pearl, I once got pulled over, and they said, if you don't provide your insurance card, I couldn't find it at first. He says, well, then you'll have to step out of your car, and we're going to tow it.
Mhm.
Okay, I was texting away, and then they sent me a copy of my card real quick. But the reality is, if you don't have insurance, you shouldn't be driving.
Right.
Okay. And I saw where you had the guy that wrecked and killed somebody a few days ago, and they were charged with not having insurance. And I'm going, that makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, that person should be in jail for a lot more things than a ticket for no insurance,
Right.
you know, and I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you were the cause of a wreck or run over somebody.
They killed somebody.
They killed somebody.
Yeah.
You know, that was back during Christmas. But I sit here and look at it. And I just go, why can't we just write a ticket for everything? And I know it sucks, but maybe some people won't want to be judges anymore if you were to load the system down with what they should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for instance, let's say you write a ticket for no car tag. Okay, you still have to. The officer still has to go to court, and he's going to go to court for some other stuff there, because that's part of the job. You have to go to court to testify that they were doing what they were doing. Okay, so then you would go to court, but the courtrooms would be packed. We'd need more judges,
Mm-hmm.
and with more judges, it might be better in Hinds County. It might be worse. But you got it. I mean, it's a number system. I mean, if you write enough tickets, then the right people won't want the people that can't do the job may not want the job because it's work.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've learned,
Instead of a title, it becomes a job.
I mean, because they don't want to work. That's half the problem.
Right.
So they run for office,
Yeah.
you know, in those cases.
Hmm.
But I mean, if you're driving a car, I mean, right now on the interstate, I probably, if you're riding, I want you to look to your left and right. In the next 10, 15 cars you come across, I promise you 2 or 3 will not have a car tag on them,
Or they'll have a Texas.
or a Texas tag,
Mm-hmm.
which of course, if you're living in Mississippi, once you're here, I think it's 30 days, and you haven't acquired a Mississippi tag, you are then deficient and should be able to be given a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And if
they
you're
ought to pay, then
and
they
also-
ought to pay back taxes on all the times that they didn't have
and
that
there's
tag.
there's also a deal there that if you don't have a tag, that, you know, let's say you got a Texas tag and you got a Mississippi driver's license,
Mm-hmm.
the story there is you just moved here and you need to change your tag.
Right.
So you got 30 days.
Mhm.
Okay. But the truth of the matter is people aren't catching up.
Mm-mm. They're doing their own thing.
So that's why you don't have money for county roads and bridges to be built properly, because people aren't buying their car tags
Mm-hmm.
and they're getting to use our roads. So what you should do, that should be another situation where you've been in the state, you've been living here for a while. We're going to have to go ahead and take your car. We can take all these cars from these people that don't have car tags.
Yeah.
We can take all these cars from people that have the wrong tag on their car.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can sell all those cars, all that metal to the can man, and then use that money for roads and bridges.
Interesting.
Man, I solve all of the
you
problems.
have solved another problem.
I
Chip.
solved all the problems of this state, and just by thinking logically.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if we weren't all breaking the law, everything would be fine.
Uh-huh.
You know, there's a big pile of money at the state capitol right now, and they're trying to figure out what to do with it. And they're going, well, we had tag money for roads and bridges originally. That didn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, then so we brought in gambling.
Uh-huh.
Well, that didn't work either.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so then we brought in the lottery. Oh, that didn't work either.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so now we're going to do sports betting. And that ain't going to work either.
We hope it's going to work, but it's not going to work.
Prostitution will be the answer. We can do prostitution taxes, and everything will be wonderful. I mean, that's where we're headed.
So what are they going to do when they run out of sin taxes?
Start enforcing the law.
Yeah.
Go back to the very first one where it all started.
So, cigarettes.
Yeah, you got cigarettes, you know. We got cigarettes. We're going to make
tobacco tax.
See, I figured when they were doing the pot thing and they made pot legal, that was the whole crux of that was to cover for the tobacco money we'd lost over the years. But they didn't make pot legal to the public. They only made it pot legal to the ones that were sick and our medical marijuana. And so medical marijuana came in, and there's really not enough people that have gotten the medical marijuana license to for the business to be profitable. So they're looking for ways to expand that.
Right.
And then you took the vapes away from them. I mean, and of course you do know that you can't sell it across state lines because it's federally, it's still illegal. The U.S. government says pot is illegal.
Yeah.
The Mississippi government says something. I mean, this is how the Civil War got started, y'all. Over the states wanted one set of rights, and the government wanted a different set of rights. Are we headed the same thing? Just a thought. Just a thought. And the government I hate to make sense. I may not make any sense, but we'll be back with more on the Clay Edwards Show. I'm Chip Matthews filling in along with Don McKenzie on WY8B. I may not make any sense, but we'll be back with more on the Clay Edwards Show. I'm Chip Matthews filling in along with Don McKenzie on WY8B.
103.9 WYAB.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
Ladies, tired of running on empty, sleepless nights, mood swings, stubborn weight, skin that has lost its glow? It is not just getting older. It is your body begging for help. Hey, y'all, I'm Morgan at Women's Wellness of Mississippi. At Women's Wellness of Mississippi, we bring it all together. Hormone therapy, medical weight loss, and the latest, greatest aesthetic treatments like facials, lasers, Botox, and so much more. This is where wellness and beauty meet so that you can feel amazing inside and out. At Women's Wellness of Mississippi, the best version of you is waiting right around the corner.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's it's a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic Southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Come see me, Jamie Creel, and let us help protect what is important to you.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This This is the Clay Edwards Show.
I am Chip Matthews, filling in for Clay Edwards, along with D. Dawn McKenzie.
The one and only.
Yes. And when you're wearing a Victoria, Canada shirt.
Yeah, I know. I can't decide if this is going to be the 51st or the 52nd state of America.
Oh.
You know, because we're talking about Greenland.
Greenland's not Canada, dear.
I know, but Canada, he talked about Canada. Don't you want to be number 51?
Okay.
Yeah. And then he's talking about, incorporating Greenland.
We might be taking in Venezuela before then.
This could be number 53.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's nice and warm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Made in Canada. That doesn't look like it would last 2 seconds in Canada for warmth.
It really doesn't, does it?
Mississippi warm.
It's barely keeping me warm here in Mississippi.
Mississippi cold is just 30 degrees, But anyway.
Yeah. It's cold out there.
Oh, yes. But anyway, so what are we going to do about this? The big box stores. And look, and then they were talking about that civil rights investigation not taking place on the person that got shot. Well, that's because civil rights are illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the court ruling is everybody has equal rights, not civil rights.
Mm-hmm.
So that there are no two sets of rights in America.
Yeah.
There's not special rights for other people because all rights are equal rights.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, a lot of people get lost in that thought. They go, well, James Meredith was wanting equal rights.
Correct.
He did not want civil rights. Civil rights were a set of laws that were made to be based on race to decide an issue. And race is no longer allowed to decide an issue. Everybody's equal.
That's right.
Yeah. So why can't the government figure that out?
Because they don't want to.
Why is there a Mississippi Black Caucus?
I think that should be illegal.
It should be. It is illegal. It's based on race. You can't. Me and you can't join the Black Caucus.
We can't.
No. So there are a group of people that are inside the Capitol who are basically
They're not representing me or
they're
you?
being racist.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what they are. They're being racist. And do they allow the Black Republican to be in their group?
Probably not.
Probably not. So they're just a group of Democrats is what they should call themselves. But then they'd have to let in the white Democrats. I
wonder if they have anything to do with Benny Thompson's New Black Africa, whatever he has.
Many of them do. Many of them do. Because look at John Horn. Although John Horn was a senator and he was a member of the Black Caucus for years there, and he's gone into office in Jackson, and everybody's going, well, we got a new mayor. Well, you were going to get a new mayor because the old one was going to jail, and he will go to jail eventually, allegedly, for his crimes. But what do you do about the fact that John Horn has done nothing that he said he was going to do?
Well, wait a minute now. He's gotten some bridges painted down by the fairgrounds, and he got
them
beautiful lights put in the little tunnel that goes under State Street or whatever that is, under the train tracks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did he do that, or did citizens go and do it? It's just like the citizens were cleaning up the highway.
I know.
The citizens were cleaning up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like in Canton. The mayor of Canton goes out and he's able to get people together to go walk his district or a district to pick up some trash.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, part of that crew is all of the employees of this state, of the Canton area, which they all got mad at me the other day because I made a comment that he was shutting the city down early because it was going to rain. And I said, no, he's letting everybody exit the city that works for the government because nobody in the government is from Canton. And they got to get home. He goes, well, they got to be safe too when they get home. Well, you're going to leave us here to flood.
Yeah.
Because all we're doing is building more walls around Canton. It already flooded before. And you can't tell me that all the dirt that has come in to build the Amazon plant, which is about a whole county's worth of dirt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, You used to live out there on that land.
I did.
And the land that you lived on is about 10 feet under what's currently there.
That's correct.
And it's probably what? How many acres is that land there?
It's 2,000.
2,000 acres, 10 feet of dirt, at least over most of it. Because it's above the roadbed now, where before it was below the roadbed.
That's correct.
So if you look at all of that, where does the water go?
I don't know.
It only can go one way.
That little creek that runs through it and behind it kind of is not big enough to absorb all the watershed.
No. Maybe they can hold it in the Amazon.
Maybe they built some retaining ponds.
Well, they're supposed to. Legally, you're supposed to. You know, when they built Nissan and the SP facility for the Nissan plant, Nissan has one behind it, but the other plant, nope. And you know, and it's in an area that floods. When it floods, it would be flooding the what is that? The garbage dump. And underneath that bridge, when you're coming from Walmart and you go under the bridge there, that ain't nothing but water. And then down the road there now is the new ABC warehouse. I hope the state's got some insurance.
You know, if Truly would have kept those newly riprap ditches open and not let those trees grow up in there, the water would go on out of there pretty quickly.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that, you know, when you have a tree and you can cut it, you know, it's real simple. As a child, you learned that when you cut a tree down, you can count the rings on how many years old it is, right? Well, the fact that you have a ditch that holds water, and they said that tree ain't hurting nothing. I go, but that tree has been there for 40 years. You know, it came up through the rock.
Yeah, and they did those rocks like
25,
30 years ago.
Oh, well, the
one over on Yandell Avenue.
Okay, over there.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Well, that was built when I was a child.
I know, but they went back in and rip-wrapped it.
Yeah, but
it was cleaned up.
But, you know, if you went down to the bottom of Crisso Creek, as we called it, Crisso Creek, because the Crisso plant used to run logs through it, it is concreted on the bottom and concreted up the sides. So there isn't really dirt on the bottom.
Okay.
It's concrete underneath all that dirt, but they haven't kept the place clean.
Right.
And I mean, it would be it's deeper than it is, and it floods, and it.
Well, Truly, there was a guy in place to keep all that spray down.
Yeah.
To keep the trees from growing.
Right.
And Truly thought that was a waste of money.
Oh yeah.
So he denied the contract renewal, and now y'all got a ditch full of trees and no water can go through.
That's because Truly wanted to save the trees. And now the trees are falling on everybody's houses in Canton. You know, because of the beetle.
The beetle bug. The beetle bug mania.
I mean, it's one thing after another. Government just can't get it right ever, you know? It's just frustrating.
They get something right. They get the money in their pockets.
Well, they get theirs, don't they? Well, anyway, that's going to do it for you.
Yes, I have got to
leave
the building.
We're going to get you out there. We're going to get a sex change in that position. And you're going to go, and I'm going to bring in Andrew Gasser to go right there for the rest of the day here on the Clay Edwards Show. I'm Chip Matthews. We'll be right back after these important messages. For the rest of the day here on the Clay Edwards Show, I'm Chip Matthews. We'll be right back after these important messages.
1039 WYAB.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
1039 WYAB. Pocahontas, Jackson.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repaired? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
Pure Air Consultants offers services on your heating and cooling system. It's time to get your heating system serviced. We offer replacement, service, maintenance agreements. It's important because if you have a gas heating system, it can produce carbon monoxide. So you want to make sure you have your system serviced and cleaned to protect your family. You want to make sure your system is safe to run. You can find us on our website at mypureairconsultants.com, mypureairconsultants.com.
Hey, Rankin County, swing by the locally owned and award-winning 042 Wine and Spirits on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue in Brandon today. We've got one of the largest selections around with over 200 bourbons and whiskeys to ignite your taste buds, more than 50 vodkas, 50-plus tequilas, 30-plus rums, and ready-to-drink cocktails, as well as premium scotches. And get this, we've got over 400 wines in stock for the perfect pairing anytime. Discover your new favorites today at 042 Wine and Spirits right next to Sonny's Barbecue, Highway 80, Cross Gates, Brandon.
A new year means a new you with a new ride from Mazda of Jackson with our extended super sale. Chart your new course in a 2025 CX-5 before they're gone. Price to move with 0.9% financing for 72 months with approved credit. And see why it's the compact crossover that's built for you. Plus, get 1 year maintenance included on your new vehicle purchase. It's time to make the resolution to choose Mazda today. Shop online at MazdaJackson.com or visit Mazda Jackson on I-55 Frontage Road.
For decades, you've known the name Martin's for good times, great food, and the best live music. Now that's happening at 2 locations, downtown Jackson and Livingston. Check the websites, martinslivingstonms.com and martinsdowntownjxn.com for the many special events and live music lineups. You can chill with friends on the big patio at the Livingston location and enjoy the Blue Plate lunches and nightly drink specials. Martin's, downtown and Livingston.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This is the Clay Edwards Show.
And I'm Chip Matthews. He, of course, is Andrew Gassers. We have a sex change in the studio.
Yikes.
I performed it.
Oh, Lord. What did I just sign up for?
Dr. Chip. It's a madman. How did we make that? I don't know. Sorry, it's too short. But anyway, 8:34 in the morning. It is the Chip Matthews Show. Lloyd Travis is checking in. Sorry to hear that Clay is not feeling well, Lloyd Travis says. Yeah, he needs to go to the Men's Health and Women's Wellness Clinic. Yeah, he does. They'll be able to help him. And we were going to talk about education freedom. I want to go somewhere else.
Okay.
For just a second.
Let's do it.
Mr. Trump,
yes,
President Trump, the guy in charge, the main man, has made a comment on he wants to take interest rates on credit cards and freeze them at 10%. Good plan, right?
So this is what I'm going to say to that. I think it's a great idea to start reeling back in our unregulated credit cards,
right?
Like where people can do that. But the free market is driving this.
Right.
And we've always got to default to the Adam Smith free market system. And we need to get to a point to where we get back to paper money, cash money, or dare I say, the gold. Or if you looked at the price of silver today, it's up another buck.
Yeah.
You know, we need to get back to that standard and take away control from the central banking cartels, that is the Federal Reserve, and put it back in the hands of the people. I am not going to pretend to come on these airwaves and say I am smart enough to just say it flat 10% is going to be great. I think that would shock the system. And I was reading about this a little bit. I almost talked about it yesterday, but then we went somewhere else. But when you do a shock to the system like that, are banks going to actually close down? Is that going to actually squeeze the money supply?
Well, I feel the same way about that as you do. Okay. But he also, in that same comment he made, in which he's on Air Force One making the comment about the 10%, he says, and we got to cut utility bills down.
We do, but
because of the AI and all these data plants that are being built.
It's almost like he's seeing the light on the other side of it.
Okay, so here's the light on the other side. Now, we all know that our bills in Mississippi went up on average $100 a person to build these AI centers. What I think Trump is saying in 3D chess is, maybe Amazon and all them need to finance their own stuff.
Yep.
then you would have the money in the system. And you could go to 10% across for everybody. You wouldn't shock the system because they could pay for it rather than make the citizens of America pay for it. And in Mississippi, where it just seems that they all know to come here because they're going to get the deal. They come here to get the deal because our legislators, or rather our Public Service Commission, left it open-ended deal for them to constantly be able to add on to do this. Is after they get the first one built, they can keep doing it to us.
There's two things to this. Number one is I don't understand where the power is going to come from. If you look at nuclear power plants, which is the obvious way to go, the gigawatt power plants, I think there's been 2 built since 1990 that have actually started from scratch. It takes forever. The Nuclear Regulation Association, or whatever it's called, the 3-letter agency, all they are is procrastination, and that's a problem. Now there are companies out there like Valor Nucleonics,
right,
where they have a 25 megawatt reactor that fits in the back of a semi truck, and you can chain them together. It's absolutely awesome. The first one goes online this July,
right,
and it's really an incredible startup company, and it's real. It's not like this pie in the sky stuff.
Well, it's like, for instance, we have nuclear reactors that are running every ship that we have in the ocean, right?
Absolutely. Well, no, but a lot of them. Well, actually, what's really crazy about that, we do have nuclear powered ships and submarines. Don't want to get away from that, but you would be surprised how they've moved away from nuclear power, especially in our small boys, our cruisers, destroyers, frigates. They don't have it. Our carriers and our submarines still have the nuclear power plants.
So what do the others have?
Oil.
Not oil.
Oil.
We got a bunch of that laying around. We got some Venezuelan oil laying around too, I hear.
There's a lot of liquid dinosaur running around.
I mean, we're going to run out. I remember when I was a kid and Jimmy Carter was in office, and we were going to run out of gas we were going to be out long before now.
You know, that just goes back to I don't even have my anxiety device with me this morning.
Right.
But it just goes to show you how we've been programmed through fear. You know, all these weather alerts that come on saying we're going to die and schools get out. How often did you get out of school early because of weather growing up, Chad?
Yeah, you went into the hallway, put your hands between your head between your legs, and just held on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we did.
But we didn't even, I think in kindergarten would be 1976 for me. We did that one time, maybe twice. And then for the rest of my childhood growing up, that's from first grade until graduation of high school, we never had any of that.
Oh, we had that all the way through.
Is that something that must be something from here from Mississippi? Now we did have snow days up there where we were
a snow day here is just a good day of ice, you know that.
Oh, well, we had that snowstorm like 4 or 5 years ago. That was crazy. I was driving from Madison to Terry, where my farm, where we live now, every day in my 4-wheel drive. 55 was just 2 tracks and nobody was out there, and I'm like, I got to feed the chickens. I got to take care of the sheep.
Because the state doesn't have the facilities to do it. Let's go to the phone. YEB. Oh, hello. I don't know what that was. Did you hear that pop?
Yeah, that didn't feel
It didn't
too
sound
happy.
right. But anyway, I mean, that's in this year, it doesn't look like we're going to have a snow day.
Yeah.
Let's go to the phone again. Let's see if we're there. YEB. Hello.
Hey, you got me now. It's something wrong with your phone sometimes.
Ain't nothing wrong with our phone. It can't be us.
Hey, yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it's happened before coming to glitch like that.
Okay.
Hey, talking about the schools, do you know that when they build those hallways in schools, I know you've been in school buildings, but those are solid built walls with bun beams and everything for the purpose of when a storm comes through to where you can go get in the hallway and crunch down.
Well, when I was in school, we were and segregation had hit. We went to school in a tent factory, and our walls were particle board and didn't even go up to the ceiling. You could hear from one classroom to the next. I'll never forget that.
But if you go to a school system now, the newer buildings, those hallways are built for bad weather.
Okay.
I'm in that and everything because I've had to cut holes in them walls to run ductwork. So and they're solid. And they're made out of a high compact. They're a lot stronger built.
Well, back
in the purpose they're doing it, and then they're gonna send you home. I remember being in that building and out in the car taking a chance with the bad weather.
Well, you remember back in the day, they had little signs out in front of most of them that said fallout shelter.
Yeah,
exactly.
and those schools were built like a solid rock, but they finally eventually figured out how to tear them up in Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
All right. Have a great day. Y'all be safe.
I mean, he's right.
You know, that's the whole thing too. Is I can remember actually seeing the nuclear radiation shelter, the yellow diamond sign on.
Somebody took one down recently, and I took one to put into the restaurant. I'm gonna have it on the wall in the restaurant.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
But you used to have that, and you used to have the civil defense signs everywhere.
Yep, and we've gotten away from that. But the other thing that I think that, and I've been going through this on my show, is the programming of the American citizen through their cell phone. The other thing that we're programmed to do now is when we use our credit card, the big thing was you get cash back, you get 1% cash back. But what they don't tell you is that they're putting these restaurants and these businesses, you know, they're having to pay a fee too.
Right.
And there's a 3 to 4% surcharge on a lot of them. Like I know of my feed stores, when I go, I specifically use my debit card and not my credit card, because I want to save that because you spending $800, that's 3 or 4%.
Well, the way it used to be, just to let you know, it was illegal for a restaurant to tell somebody that you were charging the fee inside there. And that was something that they came up with, the federal government came up with for like American Express, because they charged a higher fee. But like a restaurant wasn't allowed to put it on the bill that you're getting charged that. So used to you paid for it,
but you just didn't know about it.
You didn't know about it. Now you know about it. Now the companies are coming to me now, because at the new place we're trying to negotiate with them, and they're all, you know, we'll do this, but you can actually beat it down to nothing now.
Wow.
And like they're even saying they'll pay for my equipment. And I said, well, I have the equipment already. And so they said, well, we'll get to this number figure and we'll do this. I said, no, if you're telling me if I process 50 grand a month and I go to 100 grand, I want a rebate from 50 to 100. And they said, no. I said, that's our money. I go, well, it ain't your money. You're not going into business. I own the shop. I own the business, and I own the equipment.
You're taking all the risk.
I own all of it. You know, it's not like you showed up and gave me equipment. You want me to buy the equipment. You want me to invest in you making money off of my money.
That's just
I mean,
insane. I think President Trump's heart is in the right frame of mind when he says he wants to do a flat 10% APR for all balances. But and honestly, what would it hurt? It would hurt the bankers. It would hurt the Fed. It would definitely shock the stock market. Your 401k would feel it. If you own silver or gold, you'd be happy because that's going to just go off like a SpaceX rocket.
Oh yeah, I got money in gold, but thank God, because they have destroyed the crypto market.
Yep. Well,
for right now,
I'll tell you what. When we started talking about silver on the Andrew Gosser show, I think it was $41. And Brother Rick, I know you're out there listening, just sent me a text this morning, $89.06 an ounce.
Yep.
Man, you right now, and again, this is not a financial show. We are not licensed financial advisors, but take everything we're saying with a grain of salt. I'm just saying, if you would have bought silver just 5 months ago, you would have already doubled your money.
Correct.
And it's with how the world is today, with the instability of Venezuela, Iran, China, Russia. I mean, precious metals just seems to be the place to be right now. That's not to say I'm taking everything out of my 401k. I still have stocks and bonds and all that kind of stuff. You know, I still have bonds from when I was 16 years old in the military.
I know I don't.
I saved them all, and they're just sitting at my mother's house. And someone was saying I have to cash them out and reinvest them, but I just I've always just held them there, and that's just the place it's going to be. I mean, at the time in 1990, you sat there and you were like, "Man, I'm putting in $200 a month into this bond. That's a third of my paycheck." And now I'm looking at it going, "Man, that's not too shabby."
I didn't know you were rich.
I'm not rich at all.
You should be eating steak at my restaurant every day.
You know, we need to go over there and have a visit. Take the sweet bee.
Oh yeah. 8:46 in the morning here on the Clay Edwards Show. Chip Matthews filling in with the Andrew Gosser. All gas and no brakes, right? Is that it?
Andrew Gosser, all gas, no brakes.
Okay. There
Yep.
you go. Inflation. What is this coming in? I got an update here.
Oh, yeah.
Inflation holds at 2.7% in December as food prices jump for Americans. Man, I saw him jumping in the studio yesterday, jumping beans, just boom, 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 boom. Look, we've been trying to price steak, and I am doing my best to try to keep my steak price as low as I can.
Yep.
Okay, and you know the people the people that we buy the steak from, and we're talking about, they go, Chip, you can get $71 for that. I'm going, I don't feel right charging $71 for that. And they said, well, you're going to go out of business otherwise. I go, well, I'll go out of business feeling honest.
Yeah, I mean the price of food, you know, and me as a sheep farmer, as a chicken farmer, people get upset because my price is I charge a certain price for the animal, and then you pay for the kill, and it's all USDA.
Right.
And people are like, Andy, that's pretty expensive. I'm like, are you out there every morning making sure the water is working, making sure that they've got grass and hay to feed? I mean, there's cost involved with that.
I mean, and poor Cindy Hyde Smith isn't doing anything to help us. And the way I feel about it, I mean, I don't know how you feel about it.
I'm kind of indifferent to my. This is going to sound terrible, but when it comes to senatorial races in Mississippi,
yeah,
right now I am just completely unplugged from it. I am so much more plugged into the precinct delegate race of 2028. I'm so much more plugged into the 2027 state house and state senate races.
I got you.
I'm so much more plugged. I'm really fired up for these school board races.
Oh yeah, school board races are real important.
People just don't know. They just don't understand. They're like, school board, what the hell does that have to do with anything?
It has to do with everything. It starts local.
That's how they program our kids to be turned into these people who end up firebombing synagogues. And you wonder why.
I mean, for real. And you know, the thing about that synagogue, I mean, is that the first of a lot of stuff that's fixed? I mean, we had a Catholic church that was
shot up.
What, 2 months ago?
It was
here in Mississippi, in Oxford.
I don't even remember hearing about that.
That's because it didn't make the news.
Oh my gosh, I feel horrible.
And that was in Oxford.
Wow.
But I mean, it's now that's a crime. These religious crimes against religion are the absolute worst crimes there are.
In my show today, I've got a 2-minute video from a public university, and when you hear what these kids are willing to do and willing to pay for, it's going to shock the heck out of everybody.
I mean, and for somebody to say that the church was Satan's warehouse or whatever, I'm just like, what the hell are you talking about?
Where does this come from? Where do these thoughts even come into these kids' minds?
And in Mississippi, I mean, you usually see something grow.
Yep.
You see it start. You know, it's like school shootings. A lot of them go, well, it started at Pearl High School originally. And, you know, and nationally they go Columbine.
Yep.
But when you look at it, it's like, how does it ever get started like this? And how does it become cool to be a murderer?
You know, the internet and social media does crazy things. Look at what they're doing with that lady who just got shot for not following a peace officer. You know, it's same principle there.
It's a crime. A crime is a crime.
It is. And this poor 19-year-old, not only is he not going to be playing ball anymore because he burned his arms up, but he's going to spend a long time in jail.
So tell me this, since we are talking about a stupid, heinous crime, on his injury, did he, when he lit the match, did he catch himself on fire?
I have not seen it. Unless I absolutely feel it's important for me to see active stupidity, I don't try to watch it. Like I did watch the Minnesota incident 4 or 5 times, but just from my past, I've seen enough of that. I can kind of get a good look at it and say, okay, this is stupid. I don't like subjecting myself to that, but this kid, it's almost like he did it out of like not even really planning for it. He just got an instantaneous idea to go do that. Wasn't thinking about that he had petroleum products all over his arms. I mean, he's lucky he didn't set himself completely ablaze. He's lucky he only burned his arms and fingers and hands.
Yeah, you know,
He gets released from the hospital tomorrow and goes straight to the jail. That morphine drip going to stop. He's going to be in for a world of hurt.
The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Strange and mysterious
Yes,
ways.
We'll be back with more on the Clay Edwards Show. Andrew Gosser sitting in along with Chip Matthews right here on WYAB. We'll be back with more on the Clay Edwards Show. Andrew Gosser sitting in along with
1039 WYAB.
We all love the farm-to-table food concept, right? Well, at Burnt Corn Farm, they bring you locally grown flowers straight from the farm to the vase. With a wide selection of flowers and excellent service, Burnt Corn Farm will make your next party or shower a southern delight. Sign up for a monthly bouquet subscription, and their farm-fresh flowers will brighten your days all season long. You can also book your next family photo session in their wildflower field. That's Burnt Corn Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
Hey, this is John with MES. That's Mississippi Energy Services. We sell, service, and install all makes and models of home and business generators. One thing that we do different than a lot of other companies is we do all the work ourselves. We don't use subcontractors. We go from the original estimate, the design, to the final product. That way we can control the quality of the job from the beginning to the end. We are online at msenergy.us.
This is Jack Hoffman. For nearly 31 years, Tico's Steakhouse has been a staple of fine dining in Jackson, Mississippi. Dad has long since desired for me to come work alongside him. And now that I'm here, I would like to invite you to come experience our family tradition of our hospitality, sizzling steaks, and healthy poured beverages. Our dining rooms are open and we are taking reservations. Our private rooms are also available along with takeout. Call today or stop in and experience Tico's in the second generation.
Tico's Steakhouse, East County Line Road in Ridgeland, 601-956-1030.
As Christians, it's our calling to be faithful to Christ and obedient to the Great Commission. Our heart's desire and prayer to God is that through our efforts, many would receive and rest upon Christ alone as he is offered to them in the gospel. I'm David Strain, Senior Minister at First Presbyterian Church of Jackson, inviting you and your family to join us as we strive to fulfill that mission. We're located on North State Street in Jackson. Times of our services can be found at fpcjackson.org. You can also hear the good news about Jesus Christ each Sunday morning at 9:30 on 1039 WYAB.
At Flora Animal Hospital, our team doesn't just take care of your pet's needs. We feel like it starts with the pet parents. If the pet parent is informed thoroughly and understands the situation with the animal and why certain things need to be done or certain medications need to be given, it's easier to get that done. Our website is floraanimalhospital.com. It'll take you straight to the online store where your medicine can be purchased, food can be purchased, prescription or non-prescription, and they will be shipped straight to your front door. floraanimalhospital.com.
Picture owning a piece of land where your dreams can take root and flourish. This is Tom Smith from Tom Smith Land and Homes, Mississippi's premier land and home real estate resource. I want to help you find your own paradise where you can build the home that you've always wanted or just enjoy the great outdoors. Tom Smith Land and Homes can help you secure your own slice of heaven right here in Mississippi. Visit TomSmithLandandHomes.com to invest in you and your family's legacy for today and tomorrow.
Grizz Nation, your Memphis Grizzlies season is in full swing at FedEx Forum, and there's nothing like being there to cheer on your team. Grab your tickets and bring your energy to the electric atmosphere of a Grizz game. Tickets are always available online at grizzlies.com/tickets or in person at the FedEx Forum box office in Memphis.
Pure Air Consultants offers services on your heating and cooling system. It's time to get your heating system serviced. We offer replacement, service, maintenance agreements. It's important because if you have a gas heating system, it can produce carbon monoxide. So you want to make sure you have your system serviced and cleaned to protect your family. You want to make sure your system is safe to run. You can find us on our website at mypureairconsultants.com, mypureairconsultants.com.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This is the Clay Edwards Show.
It is the Clay Edwards Show. I am Chip Matthews. He, Andrew Gosser, and we're sitting in for the Under the Weather Clay. And I just got this on a friend of mine's Facebook page, Lisa Gullidge Greenwald. A couple of kids asked me today what it was like for me growing up. So she took their phone, shut off their internet, gave them a popsicle, and told them to go outside till the street lights came on.
That is absolutely awesome. That is exactly what we did.
I mean, that was growing up.
My mom had a bell, and I don't know what kind of bell it was, but she had it on the outside of the house. And when she wanted us home, she just rang that bell, and you could hear that bell way far away.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, bell's ringing. I got to go. Next goal wins, and I'm out of here.
Yeah. Lights came on. You had to be, where have you been?
Oh, absolutely.
Where have you been?
You know, there were no cell phones texting, "Hey mom, I'm still at the Waffle House." You know, no, none of that. You were like,
that would have taken money.
yeah.
Yeah, excuse me.
A quarter,
Yeah.
a real quarter, not like one of these fake ones that we're printing out today.
I mean, life was so much simpler.
That is something that unfortunately, with the quote unquote blessings of technology, also comes costs and consequences.
You know, it's like I tell everybody, we're just years away from "You Will Never Die." They'll just, and when you look at and you watch these shows, the Futuramas and all that,
yep,
they're going to cut our heads off and put them in a bowl and say we got to keep his brain.
Oh, I don't want none of that.
And we're going to be hanging around for our next 1,000 years.
Oh, I think that will try to do that, but I don't want any of that. That's no.
I mean,
no,
but
no.
you could see some kids not wanting to let go of their parents.
Oh, absolutely.
And say, well, I'm going to keep them around.
What, you know, for someone like you and me who lived life and had experiences, I mean, just thinking about Boy Scout camp and camping on weeks at end, you know, and having to live off the land. My soccer tournaments where I didn't have cell phones, where you literally had to wait for someone to go to a payphone to call another field and say, "Hey, what happened over there? Oh, we're going to be playing these guys today." Oh,
and the other thing in this area, you had to deal with long distance to call from Canton to Jackson.
What?
That was long distance, and it was high, and you had to have circle dialing at your house in order to get everything. But like, for instance, for you to call Canton to Jackson, your phone bill could be $100 in no time. And back then, $100 phone bill was
more like 1,000.
Yes, it was, and it got you what they called the belt.
Yeah.
Kids wouldn't even want to know what that is.
Nope, they didn't want to know what the strap was.
Yeah, but I mean,
strap.
you would get the belt, and I mean, it was like, you call a girl in Jackson, you were on the phone for 30 minutes, and it costs $40. And I mean, for real.
Yeah.
And then if you were in Jackson, like I could ride down to Gluckstadt and make the phone call,
and
it didn't cost because it was on a Jackson exchange.
Circuit. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But we're talking about 15 miles, and from Canton, you know, and you'd call Clinton, it'd be the same way.
Clinton was a long distance phone call too.
Look, Pearl was a long distance phone call. Pearl and Brandon were a long distance phone call between the two cities.
With technology today and how it is, it's a miracle you even have international calling and all this. It's nothing more than a grift because they're all using the same satellites, bouncing signals all over the place.
Well, that's just like I've been telling AT&T. They want to charge me $1,000 to put in a phone at the restaurant. And I just look at them and I go, I got a cell phone here for next to nothing.
Yep.
We'll be back in just a moment on the Chip Matthews Show on
Clay
WYD.
Edwards Show too.
And good Tuesday morning. It is the Chip Matthews Show here on WYAB. Of course, we've been talking education freedom and education, school choice, and all that for months here. And Leah has been off for a while, and now she's back.
Well, I haven't been off, Chip.
Well, you've been off the air with us. You were welcome any day, you know that.
Well, I thought I had to beg you to come on here.
No.
I'm just playing with you, Chip. I appreciate you having me on today.
Okay, so Leah's in, and then she's got her husband with her today.
Hello.
Running sidekick here.
That's right. A driver and carrier bags.
Okay. So. Okay, there you go. So, education, Jamie Creel's been in pretty steady, and he's been, pushing the.
Where is Jamie?
No, he is out of town today.
Jamie, we miss you.
Well, he went to. He's recovering from going to Miami, then back to. Let's see, went to Oxford, Miami. He was following the Rebels. Went to the Arizona game, all of that, and Disney World in there.
I mean, what a sad life.
He's been a globetrotter. And he said he was tired.
I'm going to ask him if he can put me on the payroll so I can be a part of that travel plan.
No kidding. But he went to the game, and I say he wore the wrong shirt. That's why Ole Miss lost. That's that.
Which one did he wear?
I don't know. It's wrong. It was the wrong one.
Obviously, Jamie, you got to do better than that.
Yes, he does. But anyway, we're here and we're talking the program, and it is going to be today on education freedom and school choice.
You know what?
Yes.
We actually have some bills to talk about.
Yes, and they've actually changed from what I originally heard that it was going to get down to. It had gotten down to where they were going to do the public to public was about all that was going to get passed.
Well, yeah, on the Senate side, and then the House side, a big old package.
So explain this. How does the $7,000 that they're talking about follow the kid to a private school? My mom would have been all about that because there was 4 of us.
Okay. All right. So when you're looking at education dollars, it's broken up into a pie, right? So you've got your state portion, which is usually your majority. You've got your local dollars, which is tax dollars, any fundraising done in that local district, tickets, concessions, all that is your local dollar. And then you have your federal dollar.
Right.
And we'll go into what that is as well. All right. So when you're looking at a state portion, the average is you're looking at about $7,000 to educate a child for the state portion.
Right.
So if you are doing public to public, or we call that portability, if a child leaves one school district and goes to the other, the local dollar stays.
Right.
Meaning there's more per pupil expenditures, and then the state dollar will follow the child. So whether it follows, that's for portability. So that's public to public. Now you're looking at private.
Right.
Transfer. So if a child is enrolled in a public school, and I think it's going to be a phase in. So if you have an income, whatever your income limit is, you would qualify for that $7,000, and that portion would go towards.
So if you're wealthy, your money you don't get a break.
Not out the gate, no. I mean, because if you're wealthy, you've got a choice, right? I mean, so the way school choice works is it benefits those who aren't lucky enough or can afford to live in a zip code. They're not lucky or born in that specific zip code, or if they can afford tuition, because we know people have that.
Right. If you can move from neighborhood to neighborhood, move the whole household across, you would of course be in the right school district to go to where you needed to go. That makes plenty of sense.
And and people have told me that, Kylie, when we started this journey a decade ago, I had a lawmaker tell me, well, if you don't like your school, just pack up and move.
Right.
That's not the reality. I mean, I even had a teacher in my school district tell my child, your parents should have made a better choice.
Right.
And
and
move.
And I've heard that before. And like back when in the 60s, when segregation hit Canton, let's say, for instance, then, it was the option was we could move. And I know people that moved to Florida.
Okay.
To get to a better school situation than, because you moving around Mississippi at the time, it was happening all over the state,
Speaking of Florida, they're number 1 in education. They've had school choice for 20 years, roughly.
But they can't fund it.
Why not?
They're having trouble funding it. The House whip, when he was in town for the fair, he sat here and told me, he says it can't be paid for.
Well, they're having trouble with funding statewide. It's not just education. They're having a huge funding problem with insurance. They're having a state shortfall right this minute for several different reasons.
And you're in Mississippi, and we can't. What I also see occurring is I see a whole reform of education needs to occur. Okay, but what I see in theory is that, you know, we brought on the casinos to help pay for schools and roads, right?
Right.
Okay. We brought on the lottery to help pay for schools and roads. Now they're looking at sports betting to pay for schools and roads.
Right.
Well, let's take roads, for example. All they are a bunch of potholes. They're not fixed.
Yes and no. I mean,
where do you live?
I live in Madison County.
Okay, dude, how
I live
close to Yandle Road do you live?
Well, you know, Yandle Road. So you're saying money's going to roads, but the road money for the state is going to MDOT, and Yandle Road is not a state road. Therefore, state dollars are not going to go fix Yandle Road.
Yeah, but but the money trickles down. You get some money from the state. You get some money from
not for roads unless it's a state aid road. MDOT spends all their money on MDOT roads, U.S. state highways, 61, 49, 82, Highway 1. And then state aid roads.
Well,
if Yandell Road is not a state aid road,
right?
No state money is going to Yandell Road. I'm almost positive about that. So
okay,
somebody can correct me, but so you know, Bozeman Boulevard and Yandell Road, those are all county roads, county taxpayers, no state dollars.
So we're gonna blame.
I'm just saying it's a different pot of money.
That's a whole other show.
I'm just Chip. I'm just saying it's a different pot of money.
I'm with you. I'm just saying, but all the pots.
So,
we can't fund all the
I'm not disagreeing with you that there may be potholes on Yandell Road. I'm not arguing that.
I know
but you know, we've spent many years in the Mississippi Delta, and people would always complain about you know roads in the city and roads in the county, and they would jump up and down about tax dollars, and we're paying tax dollars at the pump. And where's all of our gas money going? It's going to MDOT, where it's supposed to go.
Yeah, but
it's not going to the city of Cleveland or the city of Madison or originally.
Okay.
It's going to state roads.
49 is a disaster.
You know, I wouldn't argue that. I'm sure there are parts of 49 that are disasters, parts of 61 that are disaster. But at the same time, you know, when you compare our MDOT or our state roads to other states, and I don't have an updated statistic on this, but maybe like 10 years ago, I think we were ranked like in the top 15 out of the 50 states as far as best roads in America. So, you know, I get it. I mean, can we have more money? Can MDOT improve their roads? Absolutely. Everybody should be shooting for more, better everything.
Well, what I'm hearing is that more money, right? Like everyone needs more money.
Everybody.
I need more money. Everyone needs more money. So is more money the answer?
Well, it is if you're the people that are getting it.
Well, if you need more money, you know, I know in my household, like we've got to look at our budget.
Well,
you know, like, okay, where are we overspending?
We're talking about the government now. They don't budget.
Exactly.
Not going back down the rabbit hole, but I would ask you to reach out to Brad White, your executive director of MDOT. He is a great guy.
Yeah.
And he is a great public speaker. And I bet he will lay out a really, really good roadmap to how MDOT works.
Well, I mean, how it works and funding are two different things. I mean, the funding of everything is all these different things we've done along the way, all these casinos, all the sin taxes. We're supposed to pay for all this stuff.
I get it. But you know, casinos were huge in the 90s, and they came in, they boomed. And casinos like in Tunica, I mean, there was 14, 15 casinos in Tunica. Now there's 5 or 6?
That's due to mismanagement of the dollars in the area by our good Congressman Benny Thompson, you know.
Well,
I mean, because the coast flourishes, and there's and in the casino business, if you look at the coast, the tourism people need to get on the stick because Vegas is pretty big.
Yeah.
And it got sand around it, but it's got the wrong kind of sand. It doesn't have water. They pump the water in. We got water and sand. That should be little Vegas down there on the coast, and it should look like $1 million.
My wife and I were just down at the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Actually, we're down there twice in the last 6 months, and it's an untapped resource. It's Mississippi Gulf Coast is a wonderful place to visit. It's a wonderful place to live. We have friends down there. We visited the casino. We visited some of the local restaurants. It isn't the Mississippi Gulf Coast is an amazing place.
It could be.
We hit the baccarat tables.
Oh,
yeah.
But that's the easy one. You can decide which one you want to be, which way you want to go.
I felt so sophisticated. You know, all the 007 James Bond movies. That's where in the casino scene he's playing baccarat.
Yeah.
And so we learned how to play baccarat, and I was like, oh man,
Did you
this
really
is
learn?
Like,
Did you learn anything?
this is real sophistication right here.
Yeah,
This is, I've made it.
Well, it's made for our education system. You only have to count to 9.
That's right. I didn't have to take my shoes off. I had all, I could cover it with my hands. So
I spent some time as a pit boss.
Yeah.
In the
Really?
casino business.
I
Yeah.
didn't know
yeah.
that.
About like 15, 20 years in as a pit boss.
What?
I know that industry frontwards and
All
backwards.
right. So if we have a casino night, I need to call you.
Yes, you do. Yes, you
but
do.
also about the Mississippi Gulf Coast, do you want it to be like another like Orange Beach or
Well-
another like 30A? Because you go down there at times and nothing against those areas, but they are packed and they're touristy and congestion and like you
It's
can get around on our Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Well,
I think it's a good flow there.
But the question is, what is the goal?
Yeah.
What is the goal? When you talk about, from one standpoint, we talk about capitalism, and when you talk about the PBMs and the big box stores and the drug cartels coming in to run the mom and pop operations out of business, we all love the mom and pop.
Yes.
Okay, we all love
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
But then on the other hand, capitalism is.
Well,
you can't, it's like you get your toe in the water. You need to go ahead.
You
and
got to
go.
have a balance. You got to have a fine balance there. Like we read the what's his name? He ran for president. My mind's gone blank on his name.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I read his book, and in his book, whether you agree or disagree with him, he said the fourth branch of government was corporations.
Yes.
He said, and the corporations have got your federal government,
They
by
got
the cojones.
Yes, they do.
And I mean, agree or disagree. I mean, he's like, well, that's not a, you can argue that either side probably, and that's something to be said for that. So you're right. A lot of these big corporations are putting mom and pops out of business. And
How much big corporation money is behind the education stuff? Let me ask you that.
A lot of big money is behind the education stuff.
Like the Superintendent's
Yeah, the Superintendent's Association has got big money behind it. Your Mississippi Administrators Association got big money. Southern Poverty Law Center has pumped big money and to the parents campaign. I mean, so there's a lot of big money, and a lot of that money's from even big money out of state.
And what's the end game?
And so all this money being pumped by these associations against school choice, that money's being pumped in for what? For protectionisms. And what are they protecting? They're protecting adults and their jobs at the expense of children.
Well, see, my thing is nobody, to me, in the whole program has talked about educating the child.
I agree. I agree. When your opposition comes to the table, they talk about systems and money, and the systems provide jobs for adults.
Why do I feel like the whole system is privatized education for the state with everybody trying to figure out a way to get in to get their cut? And that's what I see. And that goes both ways, either with the school choice program or not the school choice program. It looks like privatized education to put a third level of payment in there. I don't
think school choice is looking for a cut. I think your school choice movement are parents or just organized parents. I mean, yes, do they have some associations? Maybe like we were an organized parent 10 years ago,
right?
And we reached out to some organizations that were in education. We're like, hey, we don't understand this, and they kind of pointed us this direction and that direction and kind of gave us some guidance. But as far as real school choice grassroots, they're parents.
Well,
and Leah speaks to parents every week. I mean, hundreds of parents every month.
Okay, we're going to have to take a break and say, but let me ask this real quick and see if I can get a quick answer. So in the school choice, if one set of schools on one side of town want all the business and they have money behind them, they could just they could move all that money into their private school, couldn't they?
Explain.
Okay, so let's say Jackson Prep wanted to get bigger.
Okay.
Let's say it wanted to double its size.
Okay.
And it says, well, if we can get all this money from these people in this part of Jackson, move into our area or from wherever to double our size, we're going to go out and recruit to get all that money into our school district.
Okay.
And you literally just absorb a whole quarter of a town.
Okay.
Is that Is that good or is that bad?
I don't think that's feasible.
yeah.
I don't think that's realistic and that would happen. Now, however, you want schools to innovate. You want them to market and be competitive to get good. That's what makes schools better. When we were in another district that didn't have, they told us, no, well, we don't have a special education teacher. You got to go somewhere else. That wasn't okay. So,
somewhere else was 200 miles.
So because we made a stand, they hired a special ed teacher, but my child still needed therapies that she couldn't provide. So when we left to another school, guess what? That school ended up down the road hiring a dyslexia therapist. So it made that school better.
I mean, I understand competition and makes you better, this, that, and the other. But I'm just wondering, is there a chance that a school district could?
Didn't you say like Jackson Prep?
Let's say
you mentioned.
I'd say Jackson Prep, but let's go another way.
So if Jackson Prep decided they want to expand, answer your question, and blow up, is that a bad thing? That's capitalism.
Well,
and that's what America was founded on.
Okay, well, let's take it another way. Let's say
and your local school district can do the same thing. Rankin County School District can blow up if they want to, if they choose to do so.
Well,
however, what's the difference in the two? One of them is private capital. One of them is a private entity, and the other one is bureaucracy.
Well, let's do Canton and Madison County.
Okay.
Canton School District is separate, and we all know that it's a failing district. Okay.
And do they have less money or more money?
Right now, I would say Canton has more money.
Okay, Canton. Let's talk about Canton.
Okay, let's take a break first. I got to pay some. I got to be a capitalist for just a moment.
Yes. See, capitalism is good.
Yes, it is. We'll be back on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB.
Except for education.
Oh yeah.
See, capitalism is good.
Yes, it is. We'll be back on the Chip Matthews Show. Oh, yeah.
1039 WYAB.
Have you thought about the cost of long-term care? In Mississippi, a home health aide can cost over $57,000 a year, and a private nursing home room can exceed $109,000 annually. Hi, my name is Cressley Pierce at Pierce Professional Agency. Long-term care insurance may help protect your savings and give you more options and peace of mind as you age. Learn how planning ahead could save you money and stress. Find me, Cressley Pierce, online today at MadisonPlans.com. That's MadisonPlans.com.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Let Shelter be your shield. Come see me, Jamie Creel, 601-992-6000.
Health has always been reactive, focused on fixing problems as they happen. But with Blue Primary Care, we're taking a proactive approach, working with you to help you understand your health and empowering you to be healthy. It's time to prioritize you, your health, and your life. The results? Less worrying and more living. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue.
This is Gary Bryden with the Association of Independent Methodists, inviting you to join us for the Methodist Bible Hour USA each Sunday morning at 7 a.m. We'll explore the scriptures, share insightful thoughts, and enjoy special music. In today's world, there's a lot of confusion around us, but we'll point you to the eternal truth found only in Jesus Christ. That's the Methodist Bible Hour USA every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on 1039 WYAB.
Hi, this is Lee Atkins of Home Care Plus in Ridgeland. We are a proud carrier of Abena Premium Incontinence products. Abena has the most absorbency available, making changes and leaks less likely. After 7 years as a seller, I can tell you these products are amazing and worth every penny to quality of life for patient and caregiver. And we ship all incontinence products as well. So please come see us at Home Care Plus in Ridgeland for all the incontinence needs of you or your family member. That's Home Care Plus in Ridgeland.
Yazoo Valley Electric Power Association wants you to stay away from downed power lines. Downed power lines carry the risk of deadly electric shock, even if the broken wire is not sparking. If a wire is crossing a road or driveway, avoid the area and keep others away. If you see a downed power line, back away and call your utility company or 911. When you call, be prepared to provide the specific address or location of the downed power line so a repair crew can get there as quickly as possible. This safety message brought to you by Yazoo Valley Electric Power Association.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle serviced or repaired? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
Have you been injured through no fault of your own? Do you know your rights? Don Evans does. Do you really believe that the insurance company would disclose all information to you? Don Evans will make sure that you are fully informed. It costs nothing to discuss your case. From car wrecks to malpractice, Don Evans will make you and your family whole again. Don Evans won't ever charge unless he collects for you. Call Don for a free, no-obligation consultation at 601-969-2006.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
Yes, I am Chip Matthews, being schooled this morning on school and education right here at the WYAB studios. I got the Ferrettis in. Y'all talk among yourselves in your own time.
Gotcha.
Okay. Why do you wear a hat that says Capital on it?
A buddy of mine, I'm going to give him a shameless plug. A buddy of mine named Matt Stacy has Capital Hardware.
Okay.
There, I think there's offices in kind of the original area.
Okay.
But yeah, they're in the construction industry.
Okay.
So he's third generation.
Okay.
Capital Hardware.
Yes, heard of them.
Yep. So he gave me this hat, and it looks good. And
It is a good looking
so
hat.
Yeah. Okay, so we're talking education freedom. We were fixing to get on the subject of Canton because Canton is a prime example of everything wrong with education to the standpoint of property values. I'm talking about, we're not talking about the student at this time.
Okay.
We're talking about the business. Because you live in Lake Caroline, one half of Lake Caroline's worth some money. The other half is in the Canton School District and ain't worth much. Correct?
I would say no. All of Lake Caroline's worth good money.
No, I'm
but
talking about,
but one half of it's worth more than the other.
correct.
Probably.
I mean, there are roads, there are lines in Madison County at one time when I started running for office as mayor 100 years ago, that one side of the road would be worth $1.5 million an acre, and the other side of the road would be $1,500 an acre.
And I say worth. I mean, like
I'm talking about the value of what they would sell for.
Yeah.
At
the
the time.
Germantown School District in Lake Caroline is where all the,
the
where the
Germantown-
majority of the families live, and then the Canton School District is the majority where the retirees
Well,
live.
I'm talking about before Germantown existed.
Yeah.
I'm talking about it was sad how the school district, and you know, for years I've said they need to shrink the Canton School District.
Yeah.
But if they shrunk it down, they wouldn't have any students in their district.
I don't know how many students Canton has.
They wouldn't have many.
I'm not sure.
It would the numbers.
Do you know that number?
I don't know it right off. I've been letting Jamie call out the numbers, but I can tell you that
Been fact checking him.
Oh, they don't have to fact check him on that. On Canton, I mean, we ain't got anybody living there. Yeah, it's a retirement community, yet they don't admit it. I mean, that's the truth.
Canton is a retirement community.
It should. That's all it is. It's old money and government money.
Yeah,
that's it. There's no kids in Canton.
You're a Canton native, aren't you?
Yes.
So you know all.
I still live
about
there. I mean,
inside and out.
I know the corruption. I know the inside. You don't want to get on CMU. We're going to talk education today.
I'm
back
heavily
for-
involved in Lake Caroline community, so I'm going to stay quiet about CMU.
Well, see, a friend of mine who's helping y'all on the board, or has been talking with your lawyers and stuff, is a person who was a nuclear engineer. She lives in Canton. We were trying to get her on the board to work at the thing, and when the board of aldermen voted, they didn't choose to put her on the board. They chose to put a person on the board that's a barber.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind that this person's been in energy for 24 years. Okay.
Make it make sense.
Sounds like politics, maybe.
Politics? It's called Canton ignorance is what it is. But we won't go there. Get off of that. We'll go back to education. But now let's talk about money. Okay, money in the Canton School District to run their school district, they have entirely too much, and they got a whole bunch more coming now that the data centers are coming in, right?
Okay.
Okay. Is that correct?
I would say any type of economic development in your community, robust economic development
Okay.
brings more money. Yes.
Okay. So Canton doesn't need it.
You always need more money if you mismanage your existing money. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you don't know how to save and invest, you never have enough.
So how do you go to the school system statewide and cut out the mismanagement? You have 144 school districts?
People that
Well, in my opinion, is that school choice is the answer. Let families be accountable for their own dollars for their own children instead of bureaucrats misspending and overspending. I mean, you just said, there's a ton of money in Canton.
Yeah.
I've taught in really, really tiny school districts where you've got a superintendent making over $200,000 for barely 300 students enrolled and can't have toilet paper. They couldn't pay me. I was considered a highly qualified teacher, and at that time I did not have a master's degree, but I was considered highly qualified because I had a degree in education. That doesn't make anyone highly qualified to do anything.
Right.
But I was supposed to get a bonus that the state, a pot of funds that the state set aside, and they couldn't give me that because they didn't have the money. They mismanaged their money. And where was it going?
$5,000 sign-on bonus they were going to give her. Okay. Supposed to be in her first paycheck.
Right.
Okay. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Regardless of how much money you make.
Mhm.
And she got her first paycheck and it wasn't there. And I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Well,
So I'm trying to be a principled individual. And I said, go to them. Of course, she's on the same page. I'm not
Right.
speaking for her.
Right.
But I was like, hey, honey, you got to go to them and let them know, hey, you need this and you need this now because that's
Mhm.
what they told you. That's how it's supposed to operate. And it is what it is. Didn't happen. And then they were like, well, then our principal went to bat for her and said that they're going to give her half of it at the next pay period. I was like, nope, we're not going to.
That's not the deal.
That's not the deal. And so 24 hours later, she goes back to the schoolhouse and she tells the principal, she goes, I'm leaving. And he goes, oh, Miss Ferretti, I'm real sorry you're leaving. Why is that? Just about your pay, this and that and the other. You're not coming back next year. She said, no, I'm not coming back tomorrow. She said, because you're a good man and a good principal, you've gone to bat for me. I just felt like I need to tell you this face to face. I'm not coming back tomorrow. Today is my last day.
Okay. And then right now you're talking about they're giving everybody a $2,000 teacher pay raise.
That's in the Senate bill.
Yeah.
It's in the Senate bill.
And they said, we gave it to you, and that's the way it's being put out there. But technically they ain't giving anybody anything yet.
Well, I mean, it's in a bill.
Yeah.
And the Senate's voted on it, and I think the House is I'm not speaking for leadership in the House, but I know they have their kind of school choice package bill, and I think they're going to do their teacher pay raise bill separately, and I'm assuming this, but I think they're looking to give teachers more money as well in the House. Now do they line up to be $2,000? I don't know. They have to have that conversation, but I think they're both moving forward of giving teachers a pay raise.
Okay. I'm going to be a capitalist again.
Yeah.
I'll pay this bill. I'll be right back.
Sure.
I think they're both moving forward of giving teachers a pay raise.
Okay. I'm going to be
1039 WYAB.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is leveling up. A whole new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is now open at the Reservoir at Beethoven's Boardwalk in Ridgeland, right next door to Cock of the Walk. And the new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris will have all of your old favorites too, like the Acme Dynamite Balls and Garlic Knots, and the best specialty pizzas ever, like the Pig, the Sergeant Pepperoni, the Serpent Turf, and lots more. Come to the all-new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris location on the Res in Ridgeland, next door to Cock of the Walk.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
I am Wayne Lloyd, Delta Farm Services, LLC. We do all types of dirt work, excavation, dozer work, land leveling. We do building pads, commercial ponds and lakes, residential ponds and lakes, anything with dirt work. Delta Farm Services, LLC.
Google Delta Farm Services LLC or find them on Facebook. Delta Farm Services LLC.
ABS causes mass hysteria by providing office tech that actually does its job.
Relax. At Advantage Business Systems, we know office technology isn't that exciting, but we do know it is life-changing. Work life-changing, that is. Because the latest copiers, printers, mailing machines, and even telephone systems can keep your office running smoothly. Visit absms.com. Advantage Business Systems, helping your business do business.
Looking for the sweetest spot in Mississippi? Well, bring the whole family to Mississippi Candy Company. From gummies and nostalgic candies to rich chocolate and creamy Hershey's ice cream, there's a treat for everyone at Mississippi Candy Company. Enjoy freshly made, flavor-packed popcorn, even tasty lunch specials featuring their signature smash burger. Folks, they're to die for. Grandparents, bring your grandkids in today to Mississippi Candy Company, where every visit is a delight. Located 102 D's Drive, Gluckstadt, and also find them on Facebook.
Are you looking for a church family to connect with? One that will provide opportunities to grow in your spiritual life, as well as a chance to serve others? First Baptist Flora may be just the place for you. We're located at 102 Jackson Street in Flora. To worship with us in person, we have a traditional worship service that begins Sunday mornings at 8:30. Then our life groups meet at 9:45, and the Refuge Contemporary service begins at 11 a.m. We also have a midweek service every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. So come join us at First Baptist Flora, where we're making much of Jesus.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
It is the Chip Matthews Show. I am Chip Matthews. You are who you are, and they are the Ferrettis. And they're in here to beat up on me on school.
No.
Chip.
I just make it sound that
You
way.
have to come.
Look,
hey,
you
you need to come out of the darkness into the light.
I understand that, but I want everybody to understand that I'm not school choice for or against. I'm against the whole school system.
I get it.
You know,
Okay.
people to me can get better educated walking around out in public. I mean, then
Depends on what zip code you live in.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I mean, the kids are, you know, today they need more guidance.
They do.
You know, they don't, you know, it's like, for instance, the text I was looking at this morning, they said, what was it like for you growing up this morning? There's a friend of mine's text, and it says, and so she looked at the kid, she took away his cell phone, cut off his internet, and told him, and gave him a popsicle and told him to go outside and wait till the lights come on and then come right back home.
And that's not a bad thing.
That's
probably.
where,
I mean, that's
where
kind of how
I was educated that way.
that's how I grew up.
And I grew up in Canton. And when I grew up as a young man, I would say less than 10, I used to walk around the square to each business on the square and check in with each business and ask them how their business was doing. And by 10, I was working at a convenience store, had the keys to it to go in every day and run the store.
Look at that.
Okay. And I was a kid and I look back at it and everybody says, and my mom always says, you did not go to work at 10. I go, well, the first time they held out taxes, according to the federal government, I was born in 62, and they say they started getting taxes in 72. So you do the math, Mom. So, yeah.
10.
And it was funny. And I did that. And then later on in life, at 14, 15-year-old, I got in trouble at school for being back then it was legal to drink at 18.
Okay.
I felt that it was legal at 15 for people. So since I had the keys to the store, I would sell beer. And I'll never forget when I got caught selling beer to my buddies in high school. Now, I didn't sell it to them at the store. I would take the beer home with me in my car because I would say then it's been purified and it's not the store's beer anymore. It's mine. And then I would sell it to my buddies in high school.
I bet you were super popular.
I was. And then when I got caught, I'll never forget when I got caught and they looked at me and they said, are you going to sell alcohol the rest of your life?
Maybe
they didn't realize I had already made a career choice that I did not realize I had made.
Maybe so.
Because
what growing up, I'm talking about you growing up.
Restaurant business.
Yeah, yeah, right. And you were in the casino business for a while.
Yes,
So,
I was
yeah.
in the casino
So,
business.
going back to growing up, I mean, my most important, I guess, investment or most important thing in my life growing up as a kid was my bike, because it offered me freedom. You know, going back to like devices and phones and everything.
Oh,
you know,
bike?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, do you have
I had a banana seat.
Oh,
one of the old schools, and
There you
then
go.
later on elevated to the 10-speed.
so you could carry a friend around if times
Oh,
got
yeah.
tough
And
you needed.
And I thought I was Evel Knievel.
There you go.
Jump over 20 tires at a time and wind up on the ground and cut up.
Bikes were important back then when we were growing up.
Oh yeah. Then we went to motorcycles, and it was
I did not have one of those.
it was the Trail 70, and then the XR 75, and on up. It was fun. We had entirely too much fun growing up in Canton. Then we had the horse cycle too, where we were all riding horses in Canton in the city limits. Figure that one out.
That's still a legal mode of transportation, isn't
Well,
it?
in Canton, you still had buggies coming through. You had a guy that used to come and he'd go to Cobras and Fox in Canton to go pick up groceries for our grocery store. And he would come, this is a black man, he'd come to town with his cow in the back of his truck because he was scared that somebody would steal his cow. So he'd bring the cow to the grocery store, tied up out back, then go across town to Cobras and Fox, fix up the groceries, bring them back, and then put his cow back in the truck and carry it home with him.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a weird town. But anyway, let's talk about school choice, education, freedom. So where are we headed with this?
All right. So,
You got a lot of notes
There's
there.
a 567 page bill that came out
Okay.
of the House. So I did the 567 page summary in 2.5 pages.
Okay. Tell me where we're at.
All right. So it does a lot of things. All right. They're calling it the Mississippi Education Freedom Act. And it's going to expand choice through Magnolia student accounts. Okay. Or Magnolia student accounts. And this is, I guess, the biggest piece of the legislation. And it's going to allow eligible families to use public education dollars for approved education expenses like private school tuition, tutoring, curriculum, testing, transportation, and more. And the program prioritizes low and moderate income families here in Mississippi. It's going to begin with 12,500 students in the first year, and it's going to expand over time. And unused funds can roll over and later be used for college or job training after high school. And homeschool families can also participate, and it's going to be at a smaller funding level. Let's see what
What
else.
is that? Does it say what the smaller funding level is?
I don't have that
Okay.
amount.
Okay.
Which I'm
Okay.
not sure what that would be. Let's see. It would make it easier for public school transfers for families, and that's the portability,
Right.
similar to what the Senate did,
Okay.
relieving that home district hostage option. Homeschool access to extracurricular activities. So last year we had we were calling the Tim Tebow bill. Same thing. It's going to allow homeschool students to participate in public school extracurricular activities and
Okay.
sports like band. Stronger literacy and math outcomes in middle school. So if you're familiar with our data of how our middle schoolers are performing, it's not in great comparison to that of our fourth grade reading gains. So we're going to put some extra efforts into that. So it's going to use our literacy strategies to strengthen math instruction in our middle schools. And also to ensure that, all those early reading gains are carried through and we're not just stopping at the gate with fourth grade, right? Third and fourth grade. There's going to be some charter school reform in there. Let's see. What else? Financial literacy is in there. We talked about that. We need to have those real world things being taught. So this is going to start in middle school. Students are going to receive financial literacy instruction beginning with the class of 2031. It's going to be a half credit financial literacy course. It will be required for graduation to ensure that our students are leaving with real world success. I mean, I know our 16-year-old is like, why do I need algebra 2? I'm like, well, you got to have it to graduate. That's why you need it.
Right.
But he's like, I want to know, like, how does the stock market work?
There you go.
Like what is the best ways to invest my money? What are my best returns? So like
finance, interest, things that you're going to really be using in life.
Crypto.
Yeah.
Can you explain? Can you explain it now?
I can't explain
our
crypto.
14-year-old. I've got I got a little small portion of it.
I have a-
I'm fascinated with
I
it.
lost 20 grand so far this year in crypto, but I know it's coming back.
I agree. No, I don't. I don't disagree with you. And there's some great people out there, some great YouTube videos and reels to watch to educate on that. And I'm fascinated by crypto. But those are things that we need to be teaching
Oh,
our
yeah. Oh,
children
yeah.
to when they come out in the real world.
Right.
You know. All right. So accountability dashboards. I'm really excited about this part.
Okay.
This is going to require public dashboards showing school performance, growth, attendance, readiness, and financial data. We don't have this transparency right now. And you look at other states, their dashboards on their websites, you have all this transparency. So you can see all this data that's readily available. If you've ever had to dig through MDE's website, that's exactly what you have to do to find data. You have to dig to find that information, and that should be readily accessible to everyone. Let's see, reducing standardized testing.
There you go.
The State Department of Education is directed to seek a waiver from the federal government to reduce required testing in grades 3 through 8. This responds directly to concerns from families and educators about over-testing.
Why don't they just
and
test
lost instructional time?
Why don't you just be the ACT and the SATs? I mean,
Look, I don't disagree with you. Our kids come in and, we have all these acronyms, the MAP, the this, and this. And you're putting teachers in an unfortunate situation where they have to teach to this measurement tool.
and that's the way they get their raises.
Yes.
But if you taught the kid,
Teachers are held hostage in this whole situation. The
Right.
children and the classroom teacher are held hostage. You got your
By
administrators,
bureaucrats.
you got your associations that are just pumping fear into these teachers, and they're scared to death. My wife was a classroom teacher, Initiative 42. If it didn't pass, she was going to get fired. They're going to have to reduce her pay and all that. And let's be real. When is the last time teacher pay has gone down? Now, people are upset maybe because they haven't gotten a raise in a year or 2 or 5. But when has it gone down? It hasn't.
Nothing
When has
good.
a public school teacher been fired? They haven't, unless it's something criminal.
Unless they're a terrible teacher.
Unless they're
yeah.
terrible. But I mean, let's get real, people. Teachers, there's a teacher shortage right now. Why is
Right.
that? You know why there's a teacher shortage? Because teachers, classroom teachers, good public school teachers like my wife got tired of the bureaucracy.
Correct.
And we did well as far as financially in other markets to where she could say, you know what, I can leave the classroom and go do something else.
Correct.
And that is
we
what
all
she
know
chose
teachers
to do.
don't choose education
To get
for
rich.
financial success.
No, education chooses you.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, you want to do what is you feel a service to the community. I mean, that's sort of like running for allegedly when you run for public office, you want to better the community.
Good teachers leave the classroom because they're burnt out.
Yeah, and they don't mind they don't like reaching in their wallet to buy school supplies, but they do it.
They do.
They do it. I mean, because you go and you feel for the kids and you get connected to the kids, and the bureaucrats are not connected to any kids.
Look,
We
They
had
just don't care.
Look,
I had a
more times-
15-foot
yeah, more-
U-Haul truck and 2 men, 3 men pack up my wife's classroom when she left the classroom because everything in there belonged to us other than the walls, the floor, and the desk.
Well, not just that, but like if you have a student that is hungry, you have a
Mhm.
student that doesn't have clothes or uniforms.
You got
I promise you, a teacher is providing that to a child who doesn't
any
have it.
logical person
Yeah.
that has any heart to do the job of being a teacher would do the right thing in every situation. Period.
Agree.
Your administration and these associations are lobbying the legislature every year for more money, saying that they need more money, but the money's not trickling down to the teacher. The
No.
money's not trickling down to the to the classroom. In fact, when the legislature gives education more money, they have to make it specific for like we're talking now,
Right.
teacher pay raises.
Well, see, this money needs to do the money, they need to take the money and flip it and say, okay, it's going to the students and the teachers first, and then what's left over can be the administrators.
I mean, it's going back to our original conversation about when's enough money enough. It's not enough if you mismanage it. I mean, we have a great state auditor that's done findings on administrative spending. I suggest people look at it.
But the reality is he has no power to do anything with it. I mean, they don't have any enforcement power for the state auditor. They don't have it for the Secretary of State's office.
I agree. Yeah,
both
you're
of
right.
those, both of them.
So-
I mean, that's why when you have elections and you try to do something with Secretary of State, I found 100 people that were not supposed to be running elections in Madison County that were paid. And they said, that's how'd you find them? I went and got their paychecks.
So
I turned it over to the Secretary of State, and he turned it over to Lynn Fitch. Lynn Fitch sent me a letter that said, we're not going to prosecute election crimes.
So-
we don't have enough evidence. I got their paychecks and where they were sent out of state.
So let's talk about that, talking about your auditor just finds what's wrong, and then he turns it over to another department. So he doesn't have the power to physically prosecute.
And when he did,
let's talk about that in the education side of the accountability. Like we have this accountability model, A, B, C, D, and F, right? But when a school district is graded on those grades, a D and F, what is done?
Right, nothing.
Where's the accountability?
Nothing.
So, you have a lot of these districts and superintendents going, there's no accountability in the private sector. And people walk. People hold other folks accountable with their wallet and with their feet. They leave, So, but you don't have that option in the public school system. There is no accountability model in the public school system. And that's me talking, because when they give that school district a grade, nobody's feet's being held to the fire to improve on that grade.
Yep.
And, I mean, look at some of the school districts you're talking about. They're failing. How long have they been failing?
Well,
a year?
It's like Canton.
3 years?
Canton got to the borderline, and then we had a person who just ran for mayor recently, who was a school teacher who cheated on the test, was suspended for 10 years for cheating on the test, and then she runs for mayor, and she currently works in the education system.
What's crazy is that example is used when parents come into Proctor for state testing. It is used in school districts as an example of what not to do. And
welcome.
It is.
Welcome
I
to
proctored.
Welcome to Canton.
When the public school system was not providing my child services, I called the Mississippi Department of Education, and I told them that my child wouldn't be provided services, and I repeated myself about 4 different times, and the lady on the other end go, Mr. Freddie, you don't understand. They have to. I said, no, you don't understand. They're not.
Right.
So I said, well, you're the Department of Education. You need to call down there and hold them accountable, or send some people, or whatever that process is. She goes, no, Miss Freddie, we don't do that.
You have to go to your school board, right?
I said, well, what are all those people in that building in Jackson doing? She said, we don't hold school districts accountable. Her words, not mine.
Right.
And I said, well, who does? So what am I supposed to do? She said, well, have you thought about hiring an attorney and suing them? I said, so I got to hold those accountable.
Right.
So me as the parent has got to hold.
See, there is no government entity to help the people of Mississippi to prosecute anybody for any mismanagement whatsoever. And without the ballot initiative that they've taken away from us, we have no way to vote on anything.
Chip, that is why parents are pushing for education freedom, because there's not a system out there that is perfect, nor is there a system out there that are helping parents and their children. So the parents want to take the dollar and spend it as they see fit.
Right.
Because why does this problem exist? Because bureaucracy has created it.
Correct.
Bureaucracy has given parents no choice, no option. The public school system created Blake and Leah and our school choice movement.
Right.
We didn't wake up one day and go,
This is
a great idea. We're going to do that. No, we're here because we were told no multiple times, and that they were not going to educate and service our child. And that's not an option for me or for my wife.
That is correct. That is correct.
That is why we were created.
Okay.
That is why we're here.
We'll take
it's
a break.
not a policy. It's a lifestyle for us.
I got you. We got to take one more break, and we'll be right back on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB.
It's not a policy. It's a lifestyle for us.
I got you. We got to take one more break, and we'll be right back.
1039 WYAB.
Have you thought about the cost of long-term care? In Mississippi, a home health aide can cost over $57,000 a year, and a private nursing home room can exceed $109,000 annually. Hi,
My name is Cressley Pierce at Pierce Professional Agency. Long-term care insurance may help protect your savings and give you more options and peace of mind as you age. Learn how planning ahead could save you money and stress. Find me, Cressley Pierce, online today at MadisonPlans.com. That's MadisonPlans.com.
Efficient and trouble-free payroll processing is crucial to a business's success, and a lot of businesses are struggling with it. PeopleLease, a local payroll provider, not only offers top-of-the-line software, but also provides on-demand payroll support services. With PeopleLease, you're never on your own at every step of your payroll process. PeopleLease has the expertise in managing payroll challenges and will work hard to understand your business and employees. That's what makes PeopleLease the perfect choice for you and your business. Learn more online at peoplelease.com.
A new year means a new you with a new ride from Mazda of Jackson with our extended super sale. Chart your new course in a 2025 CX-5 before they're gone. Price to move with 0.9% financing for 72 months with approved credit. And see why it's the compact crossover that's built for you. Plus, get 1 year maintenance included on your new vehicle purchase. It's time to make the resolution to choose Mazda today. Shop online at MazdaJackson.com or visit Mazda Jackson on I-55 Frontage Road.
When you want your pine trees to grow a little happier and a lot healthier, call on Holcomb Aerial Service. When your crops need dusting, think Holcomb Aerial Service. From the farm to your own pine forest, Holcomb Aerial Service will stimulate growth, eradicate pests, and preserve the value of your crops. Call Holcomb Aerial Service at 601-668-6200. That's 601-668-6200.
Our flag was still there. The official 250th celebration flag is available at a complete flag source on I-55 North in Jackson. It's just one way you can show your appreciation for the greatest country on earth. Flags for all occasions. International and state flags too. Flagpole construction available. You can check it out at CompleteFlags.com. A complete flag source, I-55 North in Jackson.
Even with interest rates higher than recent norms, real estate values are still holding strong in Mississippi. We caught up again with one of Mississippi's top real estate agents, Shane Saxon, to explain his recent activity in the market.
In the last year or so, it's been the best of my career. Interest rates have been high, but the real estate market is here to stay. Land values especially are continuing to rise. Home values are holding. If you need help with anything in real estate, just give me a call.
Find Shane Saxon on Facebook or give him a call at 601-540-5040. Offer property 601-724-1435.
Broad Street, Kincaid's, past that place. Broad Street, Kincaid's, tastes so great. From Jackson Town to every state, bestKingCake.com, don't wait. Lines out the doorway, laughter in the air, hidden little baby waiting in there somewhere. From now till Mardi Gras, you know where to be. Or click that link and make your kitchen Bourbon Street. Broad Street, Kincaid's, past that place. Broad Street, Kincaid's, tastes so great. From Jackson Town to every state, bestKingCake.com, don't wait.
This is Central Mississippi.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kathan. Activists say the death toll from demonstrations in Iran now tops 2,000. And as CBS's Natalie Brand tells us, we're hearing from President Trump.
We have a new social